I have the pleasure to moderate the next session, so I would like to invite on stage Evgen Belousov. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, because I do have to remember 160 people. So, Evgen, it's nice to meet you. You can take a microphone, have a seat. So, Evgen is the... Yeah, it's on. All right, so Evgen is the CEO of GR8 TECH, an interesting company. I really like it. I really like the name. But first, I would just like to ask you to do a short introduction about yourself, say a few words about the company so people know who you are, and then we dive into the questions.
Okay, so basically, GR8 TECH is a new company, new name. It's that we are the acceptor of the Parimatch Tech technology. All the platforms that was developed by Parimatch Tech team for the internal Parimatch products. We've decided, it was a strategic discussion, strategic decisions within the whole 2022 year, that are we ready to provide our product, our platforms, all our iGaming solutions to the market, to the completely external clients. We decided that we are definitely ready, and because of that, we changed the strategy, we developed our strategic goals, and we announced a new name and a new way of our development, which is GR8 TECH, at the end of January 2023. So this is a long story short.
Yeah, I know Parimatch has been experimenting with tech industries for a couple of years now, and you guys also in esports and much more. So let's just dive into the questions, okay? Okay. So what are your thoughts on the current state of the iGaming industry in Europe? Firstly, we heard about Czech Republic, but you probably have more details. And what do you think the trends are going to be emerging in the near future?
So basically, we do have not an existing clients, but several European companies that are interested in cooperation with us at the moment. And it's most of the questions are completely related to several main topics. The first one is, of course, regulation, and it was clearly discussed in the previous panel here. Everybody is interested about this, and it's completely clear why it happens, because definitely the number one priority is to protect the player from the regulator's side, and to make safe way of using all the iGaming products on the market. So it's clear. The second topic and subject is that disturbs all the European companies, as I can see, as we can feel from our side, is actually a software. It's creating and developing and maintaining iGaming software, either it's a sports book or a casino or any kind of retention payment systems. It's a complicated way. So we definitely see the difference between the operator's business model and software-based company business model. That's why we historically decided to separate these two directions at that moment in Parimatch, and that's why we do have a concentration in GR8 TECH company on a software. So we have to satisfy all the operator needs, and our strategic goal is to make all the changes, all the operations for the operator. We call it less development. So to involve as less as possible development resources, to adopt the bonuses, to adopt any kind of mechanics related to retention, to payments, to responsible gambling functions, and so on and so forth. This is our goal. We see that it is requested by the market, and we definitely concentrated on this trend to allow operator to operate with as less as possible development involvement.
That's good, because 8 years ago when we started organizing these conferences, we were focusing on compliance, and we had a couple of people interested in those topics. Most of them were interested in innovations and stuff like that. But now everybody's interested in compliance, so it's the right time for regulations. And it's very complicated all around Europe, especially since many jurisdictions have different regulation. So that's my next question to you. And what do you think are the challenges that you maybe anticipate for iGaming companies in terms of navigating different regulatory frameworks? And how can they adapt to local market conditions, because there are multiple local market conditions, and maybe entering new markets?
So basically, as we see from our side, that definitely every market, even within Europe, it's like completely different. For example, we've completely prepared our product for Romanian operation, but if we find a client or some of the operators will request our solution in terms of casino or sport book or maybe our retention system, definitely we will need to adapt our products for the local regulation. It's not so complicated for us because we are a software company. Our main, let's say, active and asset is our people. So we call it human capital inside the company. And it's for us, it's easier than for most of the operators to implement different kind of changes related to regulations, because this is our, let's say, our main expertise to adopt the software for any kind of changes. But we see an interesting trend that some operators, they operate on different platforms, different solutions, depending on the country. So somewhere they choose one software provider, one solution provider. In another country with the same brand, they prefer to choose the other software. So we see an opportunity for us here because we have completely prepared products for several African countries, for Brazilian operation, for Kazakhstan, for Ukraine, so and for Romania. So if somebody wants to enter this market, we are like ready to accept and start in very short period of time. But at the same time, we are ready to adapt, provide different solutions for any particular country, especially in Europe, if this is requested.
All right, so I really like that you guys have a signature iGaming solution. It's like Cristiano Ronaldo, when he marks a goal, he just like does that. You guys have something similar at GR8 TECH. So could you tell us more about this iGaming signature, iGaming launch signature solution that you have, and how can it help operators overcome these challenges when they're entering new markets? And particularly, I'm interested in regions that have complex regulatory environments. So how can you guys help them there?
So basically, in terms of some kind of signature solutions, definitely we have a very long expertise in sportsbook. So we have our own trading team that is approximately 150 people to cover 24/7, to provide the 24/7 coverage, to be able to trade all the small local events for any certain country, because we do have clients in different time zones in different countries. And when somebody sleeps, somebody wants to place a bet, so it's clear for us. And we see our UVP, unique value proposition, definitely in a sport book, because it's easier for us to combine different feeds that we get from well-known feed providers. And also we do have our own trading that is capable of to trade manually lots of different local sport events with a good quality. And on top of that, we do provide for the operator different features and interface that allows you to regulate the priority of the event. So on your player's product, you can just navigate and put some local check event on top of the, I don't know, Brazilian football game or whatever. So, and do this without any developer's involvement, without any tasks in Jira, backlog, and all this stuff that is makes operators crazy. So this is our, let's say, signature. We're sure about that. And we also do have our own retention system with different bonus mechanics. Internally we call it CRM, so it's a product similar to Optimove, to Fast Track. We developed it within 1 year and a half. So we adopted it for the CRM managers, because we see that when operators hire CRM managers, most of the CRM managers have experience with working with either Optimove or Fast Track. So it's really important for them to have like an interface they are well aware about. So we adopted the interface to, to like, the skin is completely the same as all the well-known CRM systems. So this is around 2 signatures from our side, is a sport book and a CRM system.
All right, so you guys place a great emphasis on quality service, and that's good because not many do. There's especially a lot of suppliers that don't. Mm-hmm. It's funny because that's one of their main assets that should be firsthand. So how did you detect this? And not so much tech, what is the pressing issue in the industry when it comes to quality service and not focusing on tech?
So the pressure, the number one pressure is actually always a regulation and compliance, because most of the businesses, of course, they are very careful with the regulation, and we understand that regulation will always be a number one priority. But at the same time, we do understand and we concentrate on our main client is a gambling operating company, so and gambling operating stuff. We understand that for a CRM manager, it has to be, it is necessary to comfortably operate within a CRM system. For the sportbook manager, it is necessary to move priorities, build some kind of custom margin for any kind of event. We do understand that lots of operating companies, they have their own technical team. That's why we have like a widget API-based architecture that allows you to, build a custom front end and so on and so forth. So we concentrate really on operator needs, and of course regulation is one of the need, and we do as much as possible to allow to customize the regulation with as less as possible developers' involvement as well.
All right, so you guys also, sorry about that, in terms of technology and innovation, you guys also pay attention most probably on the developments in the world. So what are the top 3 developments that you guys are looking out for? ChatGPT most probably.
So basically, in terms of development, we see that, high load is definitely an expertise required for such companies as GR8 TECH, because top sport events definitely require for you as a technology company to be capable of to process all the bets, all the casino rounds in peak moments, and be able to do it for several operators, which are independent companies, and anything that happens with one operator shouldn't affect the other one. So this is the priority in our development. Another priority that we see actually that our new potential clients that we are currently working with, the number one priority for them is actually to launch the product in a certain country. We know that our competitors, they provide short period of launches, like 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But in our case, we definitely concentrate on the operator needs. We would like to, to discuss everything, to set up a business plan, because we are really interested not just in a launch and creating an account in the back office for the operator and tell you you can now operate. We're interested in a success, in a final result, profitable result for the operator. That's why, in our case, onboarding and launch is it's not in a 2 or 3 weeks, and it's not a question about launching the back office account. It's always a question about understanding the real needs of the operator and satisfying them and build a successful mutual business plan that will bring profit to our client as an operator and to us. And third priority that we see through the development and related to the development and technical development especially is basically a number one challenge for all the operators that we see is changing software. If somebody wants to change the software, it's really, we did lots of surveys and it's a nightmare for most of the operators. And we calculated internally, and based on pretty much experience, we actually did in our history 8 migrations. 8 migrations for different regions from different kinds of software, and we really know how to do it. We really do have a logic plan based on stages, based on our experience, how to minimize any kind of risk of losing customers, of losing their experience, and so on and so forth, in order to migrate from one solution to another. And we see that lots of operators are really thinking about this because some of the solutions are really local based, and they want to get like an international presence. And some of the solutions are limited with the capacity in terms of monthly active users or daily active users, or number of beds that they can accept within 1 second, and so on and so forth. So this is our 3 main priorities for our development team.
All right, so what advice would you give to entrepreneurs or investors that are looking to enter the iGaming industry, which I think are plenty nowadays? And what opportunities do you see for growth and innovation in this space?
So we can call us as a new entrepreneurs as well, because we completely changed the focus and set up like a new company. Previously, our client was a regular player that plays in bets and plays casino. Now our client is so we're a B2C company, now we're B2B. Now our client is an operator. And what we are doing for the last 6 months is actually understanding the needs that we're getting this information from the agencies, from the sales companies that talk to the operators, understanding the real needs, the real pains of the operators. And at the moment we are concentrating and building our UVP based on the pains that will convert into gains. So this is like, can be quite general suggestion, but that's the best thing that I can suggest for the new software companies that would like to provide a soft for iGaming industry.
Any closing remarks?
Thank you for inviting here. Thank you for giving me a possibility just to tell the industry about GR8 TECH company. Yeah, so welcome to be a client of a GR8 TECH. We really can provide a number of different solutions for the iGaming industry.
That's great. So thank you so much, Evgen. All right, so we now move forward from the gaming industry.